Okay, we're Alahi Seafood, basically. We trade as Pure Ocean Algae, and we're an aquaculture-based biotechnology company. We create vertically integrated value chains from microalgae to marine resources. So we're very strong green credentials, as we're basing our products on a raw material that's 100% environmentally sustainable and ultimately carbon negative. And for the last 5 years, we focused our attention on developing sustainable macroalgae-based infrastructure and aquaculture licensing, which hopefully will position us at the forefront of Ireland's marine bioeconomy. We have several capacities, including seaweed hatchery, seaweed farming, primary processing, and we're developing our secondary processing capabilities. So I suppose for us, with the voucher, it's all about the question. And if you ask a very wide question, you're going to get a very broad answer. So for us, it was about honing in on exactly what we were looking to do and what we were actually trying to achieve. And sometimes that can be problematic. In our case, probably we had to be led a little bit. I think that's where the team at Shannon ABC were able to fine tune. So this is an example of the question we were looking at. We were looking to review pre-treatment methods of seaweed and subsequent liquid-based seaweed fertilizers. So again, without going through the question, really, it was very straightforward. We developed a very tight description, and I suppose we hoped that by doing that, that we would have developed a very tight answer. So what we were looking for, we decided to go to our innovation voucher. And again, the desk-based report. What we were looking for was a very clear question that we wanted answered. And so we wanted good timelines for the delivery of that research, good interaction between the company and the researchers, that it wasn't a case of a once-off, that it was more a process by which we got to get the information that we were seeking. And at the end, a very comprehensive report, fully answering all the questions that we were asking. Again, in our case, we can't speak highly enough of Shannon ABC. The team at Shannon ABC spent a considerable amount of time teasing out that question, and that was really, really important to us, because I think we went in with a very broad scope. And again, what do you really, really want to understand here? What was the purpose? And they spent a lot of time, maybe more time than they should have in our case, just getting down to the nitty-gritty of what we were actually asking. And again, because of that, we would hope that we would have had a really defined report coming forward, which we did. So again, we'd agreed the question to be asked. We agreed the timelines. The timelines didn't deviate. The report was finished as it was supposed to be, on time. And again, that's critical, because, like I say, for us, it was a piece of research that was preliminary to something else that we were working on, and we needed to get that piece of work done. And that was done very much as it should have been. I suppose we had the opportunity to discuss the interim research during the course of the voucher. And I suppose this allowed for some element of fine tuning and possibly refocusing, but there wasn't, we spent a lot of time on the question itself at the beginning, so there wasn't really so much a refocusing for us, but it definitely, I suppose, allowed us to build a relationship with the research team. And the final report, extremely comprehensive. It provided us with all the critical information that we required. The researchers were completely familiar with the information as well as the context, which we felt was very, very important. And they were able to give us key insights into the information, how best to interpret the results. Again, we would have been looking at how best to develop that information and bring it forward. And again, there was key insights that allowed us to maximize the results that we got from this. Again, we're very happy to recommend Shannon ABC, and we have. And we also see the opportunity to develop further research through Shannon ABC, through Tim and his team, and look forward to working with them in the future. Thank you.
That's great, Michael. Really appreciate that. Thanks very much for that. I'll just hand you over to Elva now. Hi, Tim, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. It's not on yet. Perfect. Yeah, that's working away now.
Is that working for you?
Yeah.
Great, great. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elva O'Connor and I'm a Senior Business Development Scientist at Shannon ABC. And today I would like to speak to you about desk-based studies and what Shannon ABC can provide within an innovation voucher for a desk-based study. So desk-based research, I suppose as its name suggests very simply, is the type of research that can be performed over a desk. This is where a researcher finds, collects, analyses and reviews publicly available data about the research topic in question. And we can do this via the internet, peer-reviewed scientific journals, review articles, technical reports, academic search engines, and databases. So why are desk-based studies a good option for companies? So what do we need to know? So firstly, so the companies can see what has been done in relation to the product or service. This can really help to establish a broad understanding of the research field. And once a company has understood the research field, this can help with important decision making and can also help to justify and plan for future work. For example, if there's a lot of data available about a specific product and the results are not promising, then it would be worthwhile to change something in, for example, the formulation, combine the product with different ingredients, or find an alternative use for that product or ingredients. Desk-based studies are also a good option for companies to create effective marketing plans for their products and services. So what information can come out of a desk-based study? So gathering information from scientific articles can tell us the different use, sorry, the wrong slide there, apologies. So what information can come out of these desk-based studies? So gathering information from scientific articles can tell us the different uses of a specific product or an ingredient and what methods are used to analyze the product. So marketing analysis can provide information on the products currently available on the market, the prices and the market size. Data on suppliers. So sometimes companies, for example, need a specific product to achieve their goal. An example would be if a company needed a source of spent grain. So a researcher involved in the desk-based studies would then contact the Irish breweries to directly speak to them about that. Patents, innovation disclosure information, innovation related statistics, or looking at the number of inventions in the field. Legislation review, so information on substances allowed in a product. So for example, in a food supplement and their concentration levels. We could also look at an example of permissible concentrations of heavy metals in animal food and in soil fertilizers in accordance with EU law. So what are the benefits of an innovation voucher? So as Tim mentioned earlier, innovation vouchers, they're funded by Enterprise Ireland to the value of €5,000, and they're there to support SMEs in new product process development or to explore a new business opportunity or to look at a problem that a company might face. So within this innovation voucher, we want to see what can Shannon ABC provide us. So we can provide sector-specific research expertise. So as Tim mentioned, we work with a wide range of sectors. So we work with the biotech, the cosmetic, the food and drink, pharmaceutical industries, and we have this research expertise across both our co-located facilities. So providing that sector-specific support, process troubleshooting and a review of existing know-how and its adaptation to the client is a lot of what we can provide. And we'll look at the regulatory requirements also and provide a final report with the information collected and details of the outcomes achieved. So finally, we'll look at how we perform a desk-based study at Shannon ABC. So our researcher would write up a detailed report, and this would look at the aim of the study. So we will look at what was the question that we were asked. So what were the company's needs and what it was that we were actually hoping to achieve. So we worked with Michael O'Neill in the case of Alias Seafood. And this was to provide, as Michael had explained in his previous presentation, a consolidated report on extraction methods for liquid-based seaweed. And the report was derived by the researcher by reviewing the relevant literature. And the company had specifically asked for their interest in gaining information on various extraction methods available for wet seaweed. So in this report, we will review a research plan. So what the research methodologies, the tools might be to use to answer the questions and the needs for the company. And we will detail how we are actually conducting the research. So how we are collecting the information with and give relevant references and regulatory requirements. So with Alias Seafood Limited, we conducted a scientific literature analysis looking at the various extractive methods, where we looked at detailed information about extraction protocols and the advantages and disadvantages of each technique, the information about, say, the mode of action of the different seaweed species, and also we looked at the marketing analysis. So looking at what seaweed products are available on the market, and looking at their brand names, their composition, and any invention-related database analysis. So looking at patented methods of fertilizers productions. So during this research analysis, we will make sure that we have covered enough data to answer to make sure we've answered the research questions, and that we've all the relevant information. So we will include graphs and tables into this report. And finally, the conclusion will detail the key points and the significant results. So in this case, we looked at the selection of the best methods of extraction that would help the company in achieving their goals. So I think as well for DeskBase, just to point out, we will be showing now in our showcase video, we worked with Linus Life, and we started off with that client on a DeskBase feasibility study. And we have gone on to work on a large innovation partnership, and that will be gone through in our showcase video. So thank you for your time, everyone. And I hope that's given you an overview of desk-based studies and what we can do and what we can provide you with Shannon ABC.